What's cracking, everybody? Zerfel Rose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content, and in today's video, it's V for victory, baby. Victini got the move update, Quick Attack got buffed, and it's the star of the show today, surrounded by its cohorts. Lantern with that new water gun buff. You guys checked that out in the last video. If you haven't, go look. It's a strong team, very good in the Great League. And then we've also got Dragonair. I just built the Shadow Dragonair on a whim. So we grabbed this team from Toshi. I don't know the numbers after his name, but he's on Twitter. Shout out Toshi something numbers. Sorry, I don't know the names off your cuff, man. But you are in this video. We did play each other in this video, so that'll be a good time to grab his username. But anyway, shout outs to him for this team idea. I did grab it off of his stream on Twitch, so go check that out. He's an awesome battler, content creator. Go check him out if you haven't already. And I built the Shadow Dragonair just to try it out because I'm like, you know what? It's one of those things that I've been wanting to build for a long time, but I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to spend the dust. I just said, screw it. I did it, and it's actually really good. This thing is amazing in the Great League. It's got that coverage of Body Slam with the new move update and Aqua Tail for some really good, like, safe swap kind of coverage, and the pressure from Shadow Dragon Breath is ridiculous. So I'm not going to sit here and talk your ears off. I'll let you see for yourself what kind of stuff this team can do. So check it out, right? Lantern and Obstagoon. This is really neutral, and I kind of can't let this Obstagoon get near my Victini because those Night Slashes hurt, man. So opponent gets real quick to a move. This isn't an Obstruct because they only got up to a Night Slash, so I assume they're probably not running Obstruct here. Night Slash comes through, and now that they're out of energy and I have energy on my Lantern, I'll come in with my Dragonair and try to do something with a safe swap. But I draw out a Charmer, which is not the idea, not what I was hoping for. This is just getting RPS'd here at this point with the Wigglytuff. I'm not going to be able to get to a second move because Wigglytuff just hurts so much. And then Lantern comes in, possibly, or I'm going to come in with my Victini. I think I come in with Victini here to farm down because I want to keep it away from Obstagoon. So I know that at this point, like, my Lantern's just going to take way too much damage from Charms. At least I know that I'm resisting all of the damage from this Wigglytuff. I'm going to no-shield here. I'm just going to try and nuke things with Victini, right? I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot, and I have to end up going to the Psychic because the thing's going to charm me down. This is a really tough combination for this team to handle. Psychic is going to take out the Wigglytuff, and then they come in with a Skarmory. Skarmory is not actually bad. This is kind of what would help me with the team right now. Oh my gosh, they took it. They took the V-Create to the face. Skarmory could be what helps us win this game here because it allows me to, you know, if I can put enough pressure on this Obstagoon, I might be able to take out the Skarmory. So we're going to see what happens here. I need to start shielding up, even though the opponents, that was the first Night Slash. You should never shield the first Night Slash, but unfortunately, I had to because I need to keep my Lantern healthy, so I can try and either pressure. If I can get to 2 charge moves with this thing, and then I get the boost, of course. If I can get to 2 charge moves here, I can load up and get 2 Surfs off, and I think I probably could have here. I was just hoping to go for a farm down, but I definitely think that if I, in hindsight here, I could have gone double Surf, and then maybe gotten to a V-Create on Victini. But my plan here was, no, I wasn't going to get to a V-Create, never mind. I was hoping to be able to fast move down with Victini after that, but my opponent wins with 1 HP. Still a good game. Very well done. The Wigglytuff just was too much. So, Azumarill. This usually is good for Spark Lantern, but my Lantern isn't going to be great against it. So they come in, they safe swap into a Sableye here. Already kind of reading this is probably some form of Azumarill double Ghost, and I know from experience the Shadow Dragonair can roll through an entire Sableye in a 0-to-1 shields, or 2-to-1 shields. I do have to shield twice in order to win switch here, but the amount of pressure that I'm able to put on even this Azumarill, and I'm going to get a shield. I do look to throw the charge move right before the opponent would get a charge move off, because I want to make sure that I have as little... I want to make sure I have as little health as possible for the farm down that may come if they don't shield, but also I want to make sure that I can make that decision, right? If I throw the charge move right away and they have no energy, they're just going to let it go. But if I throw the charge move as right before they get, or I can't speak today, she's laughing at me, right before I get to the charge move, then, or right, if I throw my charge move right before they get to their charge move, God, this is so hard to do for some reason, then it puts more pressure on the opponent to want to shield. Right? So Dragonair has effectively taken out over half this person's team. And Victini's in the back, hopefully waiting to do some work, but my opponent is not swapping out here, so I'm assuming that whatever they have in the back is probably weak to Lantern. And with a shield, we're going to see just how weak they are. Because they either have to shield this or they have to let it go and let whatever's in the back try and carry the rest of this game. So here comes the decision. They don't shield, and it's an Alolan Marowak in the back. Not even a shadow, but it's a shiny, so that's still a flex. Gonna go for the surf here. I just need to get the 2 surfs to take this out. And honestly, I could even let Victini come in here and do some work, and I think I will. So after this, I'm looking to actually catch the move here on the Victini. Victini is just a meat shield, unfortunately. I would have really liked to make some use out of it, but it just didn't have anywhere to go in this game. Shadow Bone does a lot of damage to Victini, but it's not going to be enough to take it out. I just have to get to this V-Create here, or I could get to the Psychic. I'm going to get to the Psychic and force them to throw. The reason why I don't go straight for the V-Create, maybe it doesn't take them out, and then they just farm me down. Not looking to give them that chance, so I'm going to play against the Psychic. Well played to my opponent. Go straight to the Psychic, because what that does is it either forces them to throw their energy at me, or it forces them to eat a charge move. And that's it. Noctowl on the lead. Very good. Very good for me, because they come in with Medicham, and what I'm doing here is I'm feeding my Lantern some energy. And then when they get to the Psychic, I'm going to swap in my Victini to eat the charge move, because I know that my opponent has no way to deal anything that isn't resisted damage to Victini. All of its moves, charge move, fast move, all of them are completely resisted. So I will be throwing the Psychic, and what I'm hoping to do here is if they don't shield it, I can farm them down, because they're going to throw another Psychic at me. But I do shield this, because at this point, I think that the energy I'm going to get from this farm down is really impactful, because they had a Noctowl in the lead. It's not going to be able to eat that many V-Creates before going down, and I'm going to be able to farm down my opponent before they're going to be able to get to a Psychic. They could have possibly gotten to an Ice Punch there if they had it. Maybe they're running the Power-Up Punch version. Maybe that's why they didn't throw. But now I'm going to be able to get these V-Creates off, and this is going to put an immense amount of pressure on my opponent. Except they're running Victini as well, so now my Victini is just going to unleash a bunch of V-Creates into this Victini, and my Dragonair and my Lantern are both very well positioned to take out this Victini before it can do too much damage. My opponent is going to be able to reach a charge move at the very end here. I do let it go, thinking it might just be V-Create, but it is a Psychic, and that hurts a lot. And then their Noctowl comes in, and it's still aligned to my Lantern, and that's pretty much good games here. But this is going to be a little bit closer than you think, because they are going to be able to shield up this Thunderbolt, and I have to essentially land a Thunderbolt. So I have to successfully bait here, because this person running the Noctowl knows that it has Shadow Ball, and Shadow Ball is very, very good against most things because it's ghost damage. Look at it. It does respectable damage. So I essentially now am forced to a point where I have to shield up a... or I have to force a shield off my opponent by baiting, and then hopefully land this Thunderbolt to take him out. So I do get the shield. Now I just have to get to the Thunderbolt. I have one shield, and I can almost guarantee that I'm going to get there in time to go ahead and shield here, and then throwing this Thunderbolt should secure the KO, and then Victini has like 2 HP. Just one water gun should be able to take it out. And I see the wing attack animation at that point. I know I'm good because they didn't CMP, and I don't know who in CMP because I honestly haven't played this matchup out very much, but swap out to Dragonair just in case there's any shenanigans. And it's not. There's a good game. All right, so we got Lantern on the lead versus Dragalge. This is not a good matchup at all. So I swap into Dragonair because the Dragon Breath damage is going to be a little bit more scary for them. And they come in with Frostlass, and because they were able to get a couple Dragon Tails off, I am completely farm downable right now. So this is actually really painful, because a Frostlass with that much energy is really dangerous. And I'm not able to get to the Aqua Tail because they haven't fixed it yet. We're supposed to be able to throw those charge moves off right before the opponent would finish their fast move if we get there. So I really hope they bring that back soon, because that would make so many more games just that much different. You know, there's so much that could change in the game doing that. But I blocked the Shadow Ball because I assume that my opponent is going to throw the Shadow Ball, and at this point, I'm no shielding even if it is a Shadow Ball. But it looks like they were just at the Avalanche here, which is fine. It's resisted damage. It's better for me not to shield that. Victini swaps in really quickly to get some quick tacks in and get ahead on energy. And now they're going to come in with an Obstagoon, and this is awkward because they had, yeah, I'm getting kind of RPS'd here. This kind of sucks. So, Goon's going to throw the Night Slash. Hopefully it doesn't boost itself to the moon. I'm going to throw some V-Creates here because I'm not throwing Psychic. There's no point. There's a chance they don't even shield this, and if I throw Psychic, then that's just a terrible waste of my energy. See, they didn't even shield it, so I'm going to try and throw V-Create here, but to get lagged out, my opponent is just going to farm me down because this game is still somewhat broken. And then they're going to come in with Dragalge, and I have no idea what's happening, so I just quit. I'm done. It's fine. I was really hoping I would get a chance to land a Psychic against the Dragalge, but other than that, yeah, I'm not done. I'm not messing around with that. I'm not going to play that out. There's no point. They just completely destroyed me. So there's Toshi 9227. There's his tag 9227. Go check out Toshi 9227. Shut up Toshi 9227 on Twitter. Check him out. Awesome battler, awesome dude. Check him out. Check him out. Check him out. He's also on Twitch. This is where I got his team from. I stole his team, but you know it's a good one, so it's okay. It's respect. So he's going to water gun up. He's going to throw the Thunderbolt here. And what I do here is I'm going to quick swap in my Dragonair because I think I know his team. I'm not going to assume I know his team, but once he brings out the Dragonair, I'm pretty sure I know what he's running. And I get to this Body Slam because he took a few extra turns to swap out of his Lantern. So I'm going to be able to get the Body Slam off. Going to be able to win Switch. And then if he does have his Victini in the back, which is what I expect, is pretty much good game from here because his Lantern comes in, is doing resisted water gun damage. It happens. It happens. Well, the thing with Dragonair is that it does so well against this whole team on its own that there's not much you can really do against it if it gets ahead of you. So, good game, man. I know that it didn't really go too well for you, but still, it's fun to play against people that I actually, I recognize on social media and people who actually, put teams out there. It's really cool stuff. So, Umbreon lead here. I'm going to swap into Dragonair to get hot on energy and start doing some damage. I don't need to shield this because I'd rather save the shield for Victini. This is a situation where if I can avoid having Umbreon getting a bunch of energy, you're awake. Hi. If I can avoid this Umbreon having a bunch of energy and being aligned to my Victini, I would rather do it. Like, if that ends up happening, I'd rather have shields in the end game rather than waste a shield right now. But because my opponent's staying in to play this matchup out, I will shield this because I think that maybe there's something in the back. And they come with Sword Puff. They took that long to come in with the Fairy. Man. Some decisions were not made in the right time. At least there's not the way I expected to, right? Like I'm a regular Legend player, so there are certain ways that I read my opponent and I expect them to do certain things, like bringing in a Fairy immediately in response to a Dragonair is a normal thing you would expect. When they play out the Umbreon for so long, I get so confused and it's like, okay, I understand. You probably had a thought process. It was probably valid, but it's just not what I expect. So, I still respect my opponents for doing things the way they want to do them. It's just, it confuses me because I have a different thought process myself. So, it's okay, though. It's fine. Nothing wrong with that. So, Slurpuff, I know in the new move update, has Fairy Wind, Energy Ball, and Flamethrower. Nothing that this Victini has to be afraid of, so I am going to do as much farming down as I can, throw a V-Create right before we go down, and then because the defense is lowered, I'm going to try to get another charge move off. I was expecting the Umbreon to come in, but my opponent comes in with a Grass Poison type. Didn't see what it was. Probably a Venusaur. It's a Shadow Venusaur! Can I get to the V-Create? I get to the V-Create just in time for this Shadow Venusaur to eat a whole V-Create. Oh man, this is going to be great. Look at this. I'm going to hit the button like 5 times. We got to do it. Alright, there's one. And then they quit. Because they didn't know. It's alright. I can't hit it 5 times. It'd be way too weird. But Victory Bell, Venusaur, they pale in comparison to the V of victory of Victini. My opponent comes in with a Trevenant here. They safe swap in Trevenant. I'm going to swap in my Dragonair because I know I win this matchup. And if for some reason my opponent doesn't shield a move, I definitely win, especially because they went Shadow Ball. Had they gone Seed Bomb, I would have been a little bit more concerned. But right now, we're going to go for the Aqua Tail because it's less resisted damage, and they shield as well. So that's important because they're going to have to get to another 7 Shadow Claws to take out my Dragonair, and that was only 6. So I know it's just a Seed Bomb, and I live that. I think. I hope, right? Shadow Dragonair squishy, but not that squishy. Gonna be able to take out the Trevenant and come out with a charge move loaded against the Azumarill, which, okay, maybe Body Slam's not gonna do a ton of damage to an Azumarill, but we'll take it. And I'm also expecting a G-Fisk in the back, because why? Azumarill, Trevenant. Almost always together with the G-Fisk in the back. So I'm going to bring in my Lantern here because that's honestly the only real response that I can bring in. I can't bring in Victini here because it's going to just get destroyed by Azumarill and its bubble damage. And what am I going to do? Hit it with a V-Create? But they come up with Registeel. Registeel is not going to be able to handle taking on this Lantern and Victini. We are going to be able to get so much damage off on this thing. What I'm looking to do here is come with Victini, get 2 V-Creates off against this thing. I can take 1 move easily, and then I'm going to go for 2 V-Creates here against the Registeel. And my opponent goes for Focus Blast, which was interesting to me. I wonder if maybe they were expecting to go for the Focus Blast against Lantern, and I caught it. But I don't think that was a CMP tie. And V-Create threatens a shield or takes out. gets the shield. And it was a CMP tie. That's tragic. They were just there at the move. It was tragic, but it's okay. I have to shield this up because this is more important to me, but now what I can do is I can farm up until they would get to just before another move, and they come in with the Azumarill to try and snipe me with a move maybe, or try and bubble me down. It doesn't matter. I'm going to throw this Psychic off Ice Sweetheart, and I'm going to throw it, and I'm still not quite there. I need to get there. It's so close. The switch timer's not coming down yet. I need my V-Create to do a bunch of damage to this Azumarill. Does it do enough? No, it doesn't, but Lantern's going to come in. It's going to farm down the very barely alive Azumarill, throw the Thunderbolt at the Registeel, take it out, and this is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. That was a difficult matchup. Oh, this is 1 HP, and then Water Gun comes in. Okay, and we have 7 research stats to get updated. Ooh, that was a good one. Well played. Well played, well played, well played. So we got Lantern into Golem. This is actually really good because the Lantern's doing double super effective damage with these water guns, or single super effective. I keep forgetting that regular Golem is the ground type and Lowen is not. But I'm going to throw the Surf right before the opponent would get to their 4th Volt Switch to finish. I'm assuming they're probably running something like Stone Edge Wild Charge. So I do... I want to get to a move right before they get to one so I can threaten an early shield. And then they go for the Wild Charge, and then they're going to decide to stay in and try and get to another move, but they're not able to get there because of the defense drop from Wild Charge. And then a Swampert comes in. And Swampert is not a bad matchup here for Lantern when it's this far ahead in energy, because a couple Surfs will put it within range where a shield will be necessary. See, it already does almost half of its health. Like, Swampert is not safe against Lantern, and I'm going to just call this. Because at this point, I want to farm down with Dragonair if they hit me with an Earthquake, but they don't. They try to bait me with a Hydro Cannon, and so I'm not worried at this point. I will go ahead and I will throw the Surf, trying to get them to force their shield out. And now, hey, if they want to go ahead and hit me with a move, that's fine with me. I'm not shielding. My Lantern has more than done its job by now. And, I mean, yeah, honestly. So, Lantern by itself has taken out almost 2/3 of the entire Pokemon team, and they have a Charizard in back, and that's a good game. They had nothing against the Dragonair. That was it. So an Araquanid lead. This isn't terrible. The entire team has play against it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely farm up. If I know I get to the Thunderbolt before they get to the Bug Buzz. If they throw before it, it's just a Bubble Beam. And since they throw the Bubble Beam, I'm going to bail out here into my Dragonair to try and start doing some damage here. I'm very adept at keeping track of energy when I can see it ticking up, so I can see, and I know the counts. It's 13 and 12 for Bubble Beam, and it's 20 for Bug Buzz. So I know that by counting my own energy ticks, that if I don't see them getting to that 20 mark, I know it's not a Bug Buzz, and I don't need to shield this because it's a Bubble Beam. I don't care about Bubble Beam. And if they want to stay in with their Araquanid against this thing, then be my guest, because Araquanid is a pain that I am not. So you've woken up and chosen violence. She just kicked a bunch of stuff off the bed. No. Pillow went down, a couple toys went down, and she's just like, yeah, I know what I did. So anyway, Dragonair takes out the Araquanid. I'm a couple times debuffed, but they have a Runerigus, and this is really spicy. I wish I had a Runerigus. I don't have a Yamask that I can comfortably build for Great League, and I'm not going to go do 10 raids yet. I'll wait for the Halloween event, but it feels bad because I really want one, and I would love to use it because it seems so good. And I just remember having so much luck with Cofagrigus. Now, I shield this because it could be a potential Shadow Ball. Well, it might just be a Sand Tomb, that's fine. I'm not worried about Sand Tomb. If they throw right away like this, I know it's another Sand Tomb, so this I don't need to shield at all. Had they built back up to the Shadow Ball, they would have gotten another shield out of me, but double Surf back-to-back is going to be enough. Now, I don't know what happened there. I tried to hit the Surf like 3 times, but my finger wasn't quite hitting it, so it is what it is. It's fine. That's my fault. But the Surf isn't shielded, and all they've got left is Drapion, and Drapion is kind of scary because those crunches at Shadow Drapion, the crunches are going to hurt. So I'm hoping I get a shield here. Surf gets his shield, and that's huge. Is the opponent going to let me farm him down? Or are they going to? Or am I going to be able to farm them? Man, English is so hard in this video today. Hit him with the Surf, and now all I need to do with one shield, they have to get to 3 charge moves to take out my Victini. They have to be able to hit me, which I'm going to let them do now. Then they have to be able to get to another one that's going to get a shield, and then they have to be able to get to a 3rd one after I get this other V-Create off, which isn't going to happen. So Victini's coming in here to finish up this game with a V-Create, going to be able to take out this Drapion, and that is a good game. Very well played. Just for the sake of the V-Create, there you go. All right, Got one more, I believe, here for you. That's a Raichu on the lead. That's an Alolan Raichu. You don't see too many of those in GBL, but I'm going to come into my, Dragonair, and they're going to counter me with an Azumarill, which is hard. But the thing is with Azumarill, if you plug in a shield, it's going to be able to do a ton of damage with these body slams, coming out much faster than the opponent can get a player up for an Ice Beam out. So I'm going to see just what we want to do here. I may or may not shield this just to try, but I think I know shield this. Yeah, I'm just going to let him have it. Player F takes out my whole Dragonair, and then I'm going to come back in with a Lantern. Now, I know that my opponent having that Raichu in the back means that Victini is going to have play, because it's either going to be Grass Knot, Thunder Punch, or it's going to be Wild Charge, Thunder Punch. So I just have to be careful about that. But farming up as much as I can here to get to the point where even a Surf might KO. But, I mean, I go for the Thunderbolt just for the sure fire damage or shield. I'm going to see what my opponent wants to do here. Azumarill does shield this, and I'm going to shield right back because I need my Lantern to have some energy. I need it to stay alive, and I need it to be able to deal with the Raichu that's sitting in the back. And the Raichu swaps in, and I'm going to throw the Surf right away, trying to do some damage. I know that Raichu is pretty squishy, if I'm being honest, so it's not going to be able to tank too much damage, and that is going to be why. Because a single Surf does like 60% of Raichu's health, and I'm going to let it go. If it's a Thunder Punch, that's fine. And it's Thunder Punch. So I'm going to come in with my Victini, and I'm going to farm down this Raichu. And what they've got is the Azumarill coming in. I am going to have to throw a Psychic here. I can't debuff myself, so my choices are to throw a Psychic and then farm down, and I think with one shield I can do just that. Hoping for a defense drop too would be nice. Little baby girl is about to jump off the bed. Come on, silly! Oh, there she is. Up from her nap. And then we're going to farm down this Azumarill here. That is going to allow us to have so much energy. My opponent panics and swaps in a Venusaur, and y'all know how this is gonna go. There's nothing happening here but a big fat kaboom, taking it out. And then Azumarill comes in and gets these V-Create as well. And you know what? Just for the sake of it, that 2 HP Azumarill is gonna get the kaboom as well, because why not? Takes it out. That's going to be a good game. Well played. All right, so that was an awesome 5-0 at the end there. This team is insane. Like, again, props to Toshi9227 for coming up with this team. I know I like to tout my own original teams a lot, but when I grab a team from someone else in this content sphere that I enjoy and I play it, I'm going to feature it, I'm going to shout them out, and maybe even send those battles somewhere else, because I think that this is just an awesome team. And you know what? If I didn't boom 2 Venusaurs, I wouldn't feel nearly as good about this, but I think that after that happened, I just had to put it out here. So thanks everyone so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video, and then Maggie also will probably catch you in the next one too, because she's she's awake now. All right, thanks everyone. Bye bye.